After leaving his past lifestyle behind, he fell in love with her, only to discover that he had had an affair with her mother in the past. Guys, guess what happened when the truth was revealed? Let's find out together. Kindly subscribe to this channel to get more of our latest movies. This movie story begins with a woman and her daughter, Nain, who arrive in the city. A young man named Kingsley, who happened to be Nain's brother, welcomed them warmly. He told his mother that they would all be staying with him in his house. They were excited and surprised, and the moment they stepped inside, his mother began to pray for him. But what exactly brought them to the city? And what kind of life were they leaving behind? A month later, Nene saw her brother leaving the house and quickly stopped him to update him on the progress of the restaurant he was opening for her. They had a brief conversation before he left. Why was Kingsley so invested in helping Nain build her future? One afternoon, Kingsley's mother sat him down for a serious conversation. She complimented how successful he had become, then shifted to the topic of marriage. She wanted grandchildren. She even tried to matchmake him, but Kingsley refused politely, promising that he would do the needful soon. Then he left. Was Kingsley truly ready for marriage, or was he just trying to please his mother? The next day, Kingsley, also known as Sugar Boy, went to see his boss. She informed him that he was now in high demand and that a client wanted him off-site that weekend in Paris. She asked him to prepare. Kingsley thanked her and left. But how long could this high-risk, glamorous lifestyle last? He later met his friend Bright, who was excited for him. Bright reminded him how well he was doing and how Madame Fee, their boss, always praised him. Kingsley then revealed his real intention. He wanted to settle down and build a family. He admitted he wouldn't be able to keep up with their lifestyle much longer and was planning to quit. Bright knew Madame Vive would not be happy. Would Madame Vive allow her star worker to walk away so easily? One day, Kingsley returned home to find that his mother had brought a lady from her church in the village to matchmake him with. While she left them alone to talk, Kingsley went to the kitchen to confront his mother gently. He assured her that he was confident enough to find a woman for himself. Why was his mother so determined, and why was Kingsley so resistant? Days later, Sugar Boy went to see his boss again to formally announce his decision to settle down and leave the lifestyle behind. Madame V insisted he stay, but he refused. To soften the blow, he promised to train new recruits to take his place. Was Madame V truly willing to let him go, or was she planning something else? Meanwhile, Nene was running late for a meeting with some investors at her restaurant. She asked her friend to help her deliver a plate of peppered snail she had prepared for a customer. Hours later, after Kingsley received a call from his boys, Nene called him as well, asking for help attending to the customer. Kingsley went, and during the encounter, he boldly approached a lady named Kamsi. They exchanged contacts as the moment went by. Was this the beginning of a love story, or another complication in Kingsley's unpredictable life? The next day, Kingsley called to check on Kamsi, hoping to see her again. She told him she would agree only if he delivered the same peppered snail dish to her, and he accepted immediately. Was this just a playful test, or was Kamsi trying to see how serious he really was? Meanwhile, Kingsley went to see his boss, who presented him with a very tempting offer just to make him stay. But he refused politely. Madame V was hurt, yet she had no choice but to respect his decision to leave. Had Kingsley truly closed that chapter of his life, or would it come back to haunt him? Days later, Kingsley had a meeting with his family where he told them his boss had relocated abroad and paid him handsomely as a parting reward. He also announced that he wanted to settle down. The moment he mentioned peppered snail, Nene immediately knew who he was talking about. Could this be the beginning of something meaningful for Kingsley? That same day, Kingsley went to see Kamsi. She was surprised to see him again. He asked her out properly, but she told him to try another time. Was she hesitant, or simply testing his consistency? Days passed, and Kingsley returned once more to see Kamsi, this time intentional and confident about taking her out. She finally agreed. Was this their turning point? That evening, Kamsi met Kingsley at the restaurant. She texted him before arriving, and when they sat together, he spoke directly. He wanted to build something lasting with her. She shared her feelings too, admitting that she sensed something different about him. They enjoyed their time together. Were they both ready for a serious relationship, or were they moving too fast? Months later, Kingsley invited Kamsi to meet his parents. The moment she walked in, his mother and Neen welcomed her warmly, instantly accepting her as one of them. Kingsley took her to his room, where Kamsi expressed how kind and loving his family was. She felt safe for the first time in a long while. Could her sense of safety survive the truth she didn't yet know? One night, while spending time together, Kamsi told Kingsley that her parents would be arriving in the country soon. Kingsley was excited to meet them, but did he have any idea what was coming? A few days later, Kamsi brought her parents to meet Kingsley. When they entered, Kingsley was shocked and froze. Why was he shocked? What past was suddenly standing right in front of him? At the dining table, Kingsley was still frightened. He began telling Kamsi's parents about his certificates, how he had been taking care of his family, his logistics business, and his investment in his sister's restaurant. Then, Kamsi's father shared the story of how he met his wife, a loving tale. But in the room afterward, Kamsi's mother panicked. Her daughter's future husband was her former sugar boy. She didn't want her daughter to find out, so she planned to speak to Kingsley before anything got exposed. How long could this secret stay buried? And what would happen if the truth surfaced? The next day, Kamsi told her mother that Kingsley was exactly the kind of man she wanted. Her mother was happy, but terrified inside. Could a mother hide the biggest truth from her own daughter? Soon after, Kingsley met privately with Kamsi's mother. He told her he no longer lived that kind of life and insisted they tell Kamsi the truth. But she refused. She didn't want to destroy her daughter's happiness. She promised to keep the secret completely between them. Was silence truly protection or a ticking time bomb? That evening, Kingsley was deep in thought while Kamsi spoke to him. He told her his imported goods were delayed, and she offered her support as best she could. But what will happen when Kamsi discovers the truth about her mother and the man she plans to marry? The next day, Kingsley went to his friend Bright's place and explained everything that had been happening. Bright encouraged him to keep the situation between him and Kamsi private, since that was what she wanted. He also reminded Kingsley that most homes carry deep secrets. But was secrecy really protection, or the beginning of more trouble? One night, while Kingsley was having a great time with Kamsi, she suddenly called him Sugar Boy. The name rang loudly in his mind, but he hid his reaction as they continued enjoying their moment together. Did she know something? Or was it just an innocent coincidence? The next day, Kamsi and Kingsley had lunch with her mother, who blessed them both warmly. Was this blessing the calm before the storm? Meanwhile, Neen, who was an event planner, worked with her brother to organize a surprise birthday celebration and proposal party for Kamsi. Everything was set. They toasted, appreciating how far they had come. Would this be the happiest day of their lives, or the most painful? On the special day, Kingsley covered Kamsi's eyes to prepare her for her birthday surprise. When they entered, Kamsi was in awe. After some time, a slideshow of photos of Kingsley and Kamsi played. Then Kingsley proposed. She said yes. But right after that, a shocking photo appeared, the image of Kingsley and Kamsi's mother in bed. Kamsi's father saw it, slapped Kingsley, and chased everyone out, refusing to listen to any explanation. How do you defend yourself when the truth looks unforgivable? Kamsi was deeply hurt. She declared her mother dead to her and said she wanted nothing to do with her because of the betrayal. Could any relationship survive such a wound? That night, Kingsley's mother was disappointed in her son for sleeping with married women for money. Kingsley explained everything, how he struggled through school alone, how nothing worked no matter how hard he tried, and how poverty pushed him into choices he was ashamed of. He said he wasn't proud, but he would do it again if it meant protecting his family from suffering. Hearing this, his mother forgave him and apologized, appreciating everything he had done for them. Was survival worth the price he paid? The next day, Kamsi's mother went to confront Madam V about the previous night. It became clear that Madam V had orchestrated the exposure because she lost her highest-paying worker. Kamsi's mother threatened to expose Madam V to all her clients, which would destroy her. Terrified, Madam V handed over all the footage from that day. Would revealing the truth help heal the damage or make it worse? Later that day, Kamsi refused to listen to her mother, and her father was filled with regret. Kamsi's mother finally revealed the truth. She had once planned to cheat on her husband, but couldn't go through with it. Kingsley suggested she divorce her husband, but she refused because of her daughter. She confessed that her husband had been chasing young girls Kamsi's age, and she stayed only for Kamsi's sake. After Kamsi's parents reconciled, her mother explained how honest Kingsley had wanted to be, but she herself had stopped him from confessing. Kamsi forgave her mother, and they shared a moment together. But could she forgive Kingsley too? Weeks later, Nini tried to encourage her brother to move on, but her words didn't touch him. He retreated to his room, carrying the weight of everything alone. How does a man heal from a heartbreak he caused himself? The next day, Nini and her mother went to see Kamsi. They explained that Kingsley had done everything he could to care for his family, even though the path he chose was not admirable. They begged her to consider the kind of man he was becoming, not the mistakes he made in the past. But Kamsi wasn't sure whether she should forgive him. Is love enough to rebuild trust once it's shattered? One day, Kamsi came to see Kingsley. He was surprised to see her. She told him she was hurt and broken, but she wanted the full truth. Nothing hidden. Kingsley confessed that he had been anything a woman wanted in exchange for money, and explained why. He took her through his past, times he was accused of things he didn't do, moments he felt powerless because he couldn't afford basic needs. One day, after an interview went badly, he met his best friend Bright. Bright took him home, welcomed him, and when Kingsley asked about his line of work, Bright revealed he was a high-profile escort who earned 6 figures per job. He encouraged Kingsley to take the opportunity since jobs were scarce. Was this the beginning of Kingsley's survival or the beginning of his destruction? When Kingsley got home, he told his mother and sister that he had a rich friend who owned a real estate company. Of course, that was a lie. When Nene asked him about the money she was expecting, he quickly reminded her that their mother's surgery was the main priority. At this point, you may ask, but why did Kingsley have to lie in the first place? Another day, while they were all enjoying a quiet moment in the house, their mother suddenly fell sick again. This time it was more serious, and because Kingsley knew she needed the surgery urgently, he decided to meet his friend the next day for help. Here you can ask, if you were in Kingsley's shoes, what would you do? The next day, Kingsley met Bright and explained his mother's condition. But Bright was realistic with him. If he lent Kingsley 8 million naira, how would Kingsley pay it back, and how long would it take? He encouraged Kingsley to think deeply about his options. Then ask, do you think Bright was being fair, or should he have helped anyway? When Kingsley returned home and saw his mother's condition, he felt completely helpless. That was when he went to see Madam V. She told him that if he delivered for her, he would become very useful. After Kingsley did what she requested, Madam Vive saw potential in him. She gave him 500,000 naira to look good, telling him that he now belonged to her. Ask, at this point, do you think Kingsley made the right decision? When Kingsley got home, he lied to his family again. He told them he had gotten a job as an executive for an oil magnate and that he would be traveling often. He explained everything confidently, and they were all happy because it meant his mother would soon get her surgery. Ask, can one small lie really protect a family, or does it cause bigger problems? One day, while they were enjoying time together, Kingsley received a call to attend to a client that evening. He told his family, and they believed him. That night, he went to Madam V and then to the client. After completing the job, he was paid. Madam V told him that the more he delivered, the more money he would make. From that moment, Kingsley continued working for her. He kept lying to his family over and over, and Madam Vive even promised him a car and more rewards. Ask, at what point should Kingsley have stopped? Later, Kingsley finally explained everything to Kamsi and asked for her forgiveness. She forgave him, but told him that next time he should learn to speak the truth, because whoever wants to stay with you will stay, and whoever doesn't want to won't stay, no matter the lies. Do you agree with Kamsi's advice? So guys, if you enjoyed this movie, kindly subscribe to this channel to get more of our latest films.